The SEC from Tennessee to calling them hogs. From Gainesville up to Lexington to the Titan Tiger Land. Nobody does it like Thom Abraham.
You want me on that wall. You need me on that wall.
Testosterone high today.
Yeah, Tom's a man, he's got the plan, he's really got it made. What a wife he's got, she's smoking hot, check out the junkyard babe. When everything is said and done, no one can beat his show. He's a high-tech redneck, Tony Soprano. If you love sports without the fluff, he's got the master plan. Cause nobody does it like Thom Abraham, yeah.
I guess I'm on here, am I on? Can somebody respond?
And good morning, everyone, and welcome to Overreaction Monday in the Doghouse. And I'm going to tell you one thing. Our Masters Fecta contest was a lot closer than the actual Masters. I mean, it was. And I'll give you those results here in a minute. Now, if you know what you want to talk about, the phone lines are open. 256-576-4977 will get you in. You can also text the show at 732-9TA show, 732-982-7469. It is a great way to communicate with us. My personal Twitter feed is at Thom Abraham Show. The station's Twitter feed is at 97.7 ESPN. We are also on what's ringing? Why is the Philip messengering me? The Philip, how do I make this thing stop? I never had messenger audio before. I don't even know how to make that. My phone does stuff. I don't even know what it's doing anymore. Apparently, the Philip, is it coming through the phone or through the computer, Grizz? I mean, it's just crazy. I think it's coming through. Hang on, let me see if I kill it. There. It was coming through the computer and my phone. Technology is wild, man. I mean, Philip, just stay on hold. Stop messaging me to Facebook. Just stay on hold. It's too much technology. It's too much. It's too much. Speaking of technology, the station is on Twitter at 97.7 ESPN. We are on Twitch at 97.7 ESPN. You can watch the show there as well. You can watch me freak out right there over what's going on with all this stuff firing off. Messenger? I'm not on. I don't think I'm on Message. I don't know what I'm on. You can also watch on our YouTube channel, 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Like and subscribe there. You go to 97.7ESPN.com. You get links to all of that stuff. Our Facebook page is very active at 97.7 ESPN. Clips of the shows, all of our shows, all kinds of great info. Get the app. You need to have the app so you can get links to Zone 2 and Zone 3 and Zone 4. Those are our alternate streaming channels for more great programming and more news coming in the not-too-distant future about options that we are giving you. Now, tonight, we will join the Braves in progress right after Hey Coach on the air. We're contractually obligated, of course, to run Hey Coach, and then we'll join the Braves. Braves' first pitch is about 6:20. We'll be joining it at 7. North Alabama's Stuart Sink gave us one of the best moments of the week at Augusta when he threw an 8-iron from 170 yards into the jar on 16 on Friday with his son Reagan on the bag, no less. Stuart once won the father-son thing with his other son. I forget what the other kid's name is. Anyway, he did miss the cut, but he's on his way to Hilton Head at Harbortown for this weekend's event, where he has won 3 of his 8 tour victories, including last year at age 47. Stuart Sink is joining us in a few minutes. Wrap up the Masters. The tournament felt ho-hum over the weekend for me. And with Scotty Scheffler, the number 1 player in the world, and Cam Smith coming off the win at the Players, and them in the final group on Sunday, it shouldn't have felt that way. I mean, by the time I came in from setting our new mailbox, Smith, I want to do it Sunday because there's no mail on Sunday, right? Smith had birdied the first 2 holes and pulled within 1, and it looked like it was on. Ooh, I'm settling in for this. As soon as I sat down, Scotty birdied 3, and Smith bogeyed 3, and it was a 3-shot lead. It was over. Smith shot 73. Scheffler made a double on 18 for 71 to win by 3 over Rory McIlroy, who shot 64, only proving what this guy could do. I mean, he's only 32. He has 20 wins on the PGA Tour, including 4 majors. But it feels like it should be more, doesn't it? It just feels like it should be more. He needs a Masters to close out a career Grand Slam, something that only 5 golfers have ever done. Of course, Tiger and Jack, plus Gary Player, Ben Hogan, and Gene Sarazen. I think Rory will get one. I really do. He's only 32. I think he'll get one. I think he could still make a run. I mean, a run, in his 30s where he can become the number 1 player in the world, to be honest with you, if he wants to. Question is, does he want to? Because with Phil and Tiger pretty much done, the tour really needs some of these other guys to take over. I thought it was going to be Justin Thomas and Jordan Spieth, buddies. Now, what happened to Jason Day? Is he in a witness protection program? What happened to that dude? And then I thought Brooks and Bryson. I mean, that could be the juicy rivalry going forward, but these guys who are built like linebackers need to be healthy and consistent. And with the money now, I'm not sure that they can be. I mean, it's just human nature. These guys make so much money. It's ridiculous. Scheffler has already made over $10 million this year in 13 events, which is $3 million more than last year's money winner John Rahm made in 22 events. Jordan Spieth made $12 million in 2015. That's the most ever in a single season. Scheffler is going to blow that away. Blow it away. The most Tiger ever made was $10.8 million in 07, which is third most behind Vijay Singh's 10.9 or 11 million, something like that. Tiger also has the 4th and 5th biggest years, and now Scottie Scheffler is 6th on the all-time single-season money list. We're not even to the end of April. We're not even to the halfway point of April. You'll blow by those guys. Now, in the Masters Fecta, Scotty Prince, with a Y, had Rory at -7. He had Justin Thomas at -1 and Dustin Johnson at +1 for a -7 total. But Wolverine Dan had Scottie Scheffler at -10, Justin Thomas at -1, and John Rahm at +4. Also, 7 under. So we go to the cards. It's a match of cards. We go to the cards, and since Dan had the highest finisher with Scottie Scheffler, Wolverine Dan wins the Gunnersville State Park overnight stay at the Lodge. Good job by him. Golf applause there. But I am going to hook Scotty Prince up as well with a little something. Grizz, remind me later on. Tell me what's in the prize basket, and we'll hook Scotty Prince up with some food or something. Basically, Scotty with a Y got beat by Scotty with an IE. That's basically how that went down. Coming up at the top of the 11, Justin Ferguson from the Auburn Observer is back to wrap up Auburn's spring game and what we may have learned. Not a ton of offense in that deal. There was some drama at the end as the Tiger team scored late, then went for 2 for the win on the final play, which was not successful. The running game was not used very much, to be honest with you. I mean, 10-9, there wasn't a lot of offense. It's running clock in the second half. Really, this was just a showcase for T.J. Finley and Robbie Ashford. And I'll be honest with you, I was surprised by Ashford. Ashford seems much more natural to me. Finley seems clunky. Ashford seems natural. They both made some great throws. So we'll get Justin's take on all of that. Back there in the little glass booth, playing the Platters That Matter and the Stacks of Wax and answering the phones and keeping us on the air. DJ Grizzly.
Who in the blue hell are you? What is your name? It doesn't matter what your name is.
I'm
I'm the producer of this show. If I didn't step up, you're nowhere. I put this thing together on a spit and polish.
I think this is one of the traits of a really good producer. Keep the talent happy.
I'm all jacked up on Mountain Dew.
That Tom? Hey, Tom?
Testosterone high today. Testosterone, whatever the f*** it is.
It really doesn't matter what you think. All right? It really doesn't matter what you say.
Any of you play sports?
Grizz, you got to educate me here. I mean, all of my devices went off. Something called Messenger came on my phone.
Yes.
And on my, I thought the sound was coming out of the phone, but it was coming out of the laptop. And it said that the Philip was messaging me. I don't know what the hell was going on. And now it makes a noise when you get. Do you get a noise when somebody messages you?
I mean, yeah, I got the notification that I usually have on my phone, but I don't have it through Hangouts. So, but usually when Hangouts,
Hangouts,
yeah, because that's your Google. Because if you have your Google phone through that, I'm sure that's how they're calling you. They're probably trying to call you through that.
He wasn't calling me. He was messengering me at Facebook. It was a
Facebook. Oh, okay. So he was trying to call you.
Thing.
Yeah, you can call people through Facebook too.
He wasn't calling me. Stuff. He was just leaving a message on my. You know what I mean?
That's weird. Yeah, I've never. I don't really play around with that too much. So.
I don't know what
you do have Messenger. I know that how they have it now on your phone nowadays is they have where I guess it makes it a lot easier for you to text message people. So your text messages are attached with your Facebook Messenger. So you may have clicked on that too. Yeah.
Everything is connected.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just absolute everything. So the Braves split the opening series with the Reds. Kind of looks like the first half of last season, right? Up, win one, lose one, win one, lose one.
Well, I mean, they got swept in the first game of the series last year, so they started 0-4 last year. So I mean,
that's true.
That's a lot better than the start, you know.
It was like halfway through the season, they were 500.
Yeah, exactly.
But how about Matt Olson going 8 for 14 to begin the year? Of course, he's been thrown out at home more times than he's hit home runs.
He's got lead feet, man.
Gracious almighty! But he's hit one home run. He's only got one RBI. So
we're 4 games in.
Huh?
We're 4 games in.
Yeah, it's just weird that he would have 8 hits and 1 RBI. I mean, it's like, what's his name? Giancarlo Stanton for the Yankees. He has like 6 hits and 6 RBI. Of course, he didn't come up in a clutch last night, as usual. I mean, the guy I wish that baseball would go to a 7-inning game just so that Giancarlo Stanton, I wouldn't have to watch him strike out in the 9th inning of every game that matters.
Did you watch the Michael K cast?
No, I did not.
Oh,
I got to be honest with you. I
on.
watched a minute of it. K-Rod?
Yeah.
I watched it for
K-Rod
just a minute.
cast.
I watched it when the pitcher went down, when Jordan Montgomery got hit in the ass, and I watched it a little bit when Roger Clemens was on, and they had the 2 Royd Kings, Clemens and A-Rod, and they were doing it. But I'll be honest with you, I don't like those things. I am not a Manning cast fan, and I am not. And I
thought it was kind of boring.
I absolutely love Michael Kay as the voice of the New York Yankees for some 25 years. I love Michael Kay. I will go looking for the Yankee game. If it's on national, no matter what, I want to listen to Michael Kay do the Yankee game. I hate that he does like 140 out of the 162. I really like, and we had Michael Kay on the show. I've had him on a few times. But I'll just say this about that. I hated that stuff. I hate when they do that stuff. That little, with the Manning cast, K-Rod cast, or whatever it is. It's just not right.
Yeah, I just didn't think it was very entertaining. I just didn't think because they were, I mean, I don't know. They brought up Kay kind of brought up A-Rod, being suspended and stuff like that, him getting closer to the home run, getting closer to like 700 home runs. But I mean, it was just I don't know. It wasn't as I like the Manning cast a little bit because they're a little bit more entertaining, I guess, because I mean, Peyton Manning can actually make me laugh.
Yeah. Manning and Eli Manning was kind of the star of that thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Eli Manning, he ended up being the star of that deal. But in any event, it was really the games itself. I mean, I'm very happy for the Yankees. I'm very happy with the 2 out of 3. And how about the Trash Pandas going to Birmingham and sweeping the Barons? Did you see that? They come home 3-0. They get a day off. They got to drive like 80 miles, and they get a day off. In majors, you got the Braves. They play in Atlanta. Now they go to Washington. They play tonight. The Yankees, they entertain Toronto coming in. They don't have any days off. But the minors, they got every Monday off now. And, so it's extended the season a little bit into September. But great job by the Trash Pandas. They go and get the sweep. And remember, the manager told us, he said that, winning is important to him as well as development. So I think that's cool. I like winning. I'm a winning guy. I like winning.
I mean, Trey Cabbage hitting a 420-foot home run was pretty sweet over the weekend, too. So
that did not suck.
That would be nice to see at Toyota Field.
We got lots of other things to get into. Of course, the awful Dwayne Haskins news with his death, trying to cross a highway, 595 in Miami, trying to cross the highway, got hit by a dump truck. I mean, I cringe just thinking about it. It's just awful. And what was even worse was Gil Brandt's comments. We'll get into that a little bit. Alabama baseball. Are you kidding me? Going into Ole Miss and sweeping the Rebels on the road, first time since 92. Ole Miss is number 7 in the country. Where's Alabama going to be ranked? When's the rankings come out for college baseball? Today? Tomorrow? Do you know when the rankings come out? I think they come out today, maybe. They've won like 8 of their last 9, and the Tide are at number 1 Tennessee next weekend. Grizz, did you see Tennessee's record right away? Tennessee is 31-1.
Yeah.
31-1.
I watched a little bit of the series over the weekend. Man, that home run to left field, out of the stadium. I mean, that was just gone.
Those guys need to piss.
I need to see those. I need to see those bats. Yeah, I need to see the stickers on those bats because that ball carried.
Sure did. All right, let me get to the lines here. Speaking of winning, on a match of cards, Wolverine Dan gets the win in our Masters Fecta. Wolverine Dan, welcome to the show. How are you?
Probably wouldn't have been that close if you really think about it. Scotty Scheffler, he double bogeyed the last hole, didn't he?
It wouldn't have been close if he hadn't double bogeyed the last hole. When he did that completely let Scotty P, our listener Scotty P, into the game. He had a solid team. I mean, he had DJ, JT, and Rory. And Rory's shooting 64, and Scheffler's making double bogey on 18, and boom, you guys ended up tied. But we go to the match of cards, and you had the lower score with one guy, so you win.
Okay. Remember Key West last week?
Yeah.
I was going to go with Smith, wasn't I?
You were.
And you convinced me not to do it. I would have blown everybody out of the water.
No. Well, you were going to go with Smith in place of who?
No, it's instead of Rahm.
Are you sure it was Smith instead of Rahm? Don't make me go to the tape.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. I'd have been like, 16 under?
You would have been, but it was Smith instead of Rahm? I thought it was Smith instead of Scotty. You sure?
No. I'm positive.
Okay.
Check the records.
Well, it doesn't matter. You won already, for God's sakes. What more do you need?
I know. Hey, listen, speaking of that, let's touch on this. Badger Larry and I own the Masters Fecta. You ought to go back all through the years. We own it, Tom.
Yeah, you guys do. You guys do a good job with it. But this isn't golf now. You understand what you won. This is you and Ginger, or maybe you and Badger Larry, spending the night in a cliffside room.
We're not going to do that stuff,
So you and Ginger?
Maybe we could play golf. I mean, there's the Eagle's Nest there, right?
Yeah, he can meet, or she can. You could go play golf, and she can ride around with you or whatever if she doesn't play golf. But you got the cliffside room and a $30 gift certificate to the Pinecrest room. And if you want to go to tomorrow night's opening game at the stadium, we can hook you up with that. We can't hook you up. Grizz is shaking his head. We're out of tickets, Grizz. Grizz, you got to talk to me, man. Oh, we're out of tickets for opening night? What happened to all the tickets? We had 20.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Well, touch me up with a little bit of Champions then.
No, I don't have any Champions. We'll touch you up with tickets down the road for more a Trash Panda game. We'll send you future tickets.
Okay, we'll do it on the road. Anyway, yeah.
Right.
It was fun to watch. I'm at my son-in-law's, and they're out there on the back porch, and he says, aren't you going to spend time with family? I said, one time a year. I sit and watch this. That's all I ask for. And sure enough, he was busting my chops for some reason. I don't know why, but he was. But
yeah.
The bottom line is it was fun to watch. I'm glad the weather turned around a little bit. It was pretty dang cold in the beginning. I know how cold it was. Dude, I'll tell you what. I mean, beautiful 80 degrees plus, sunshine. And then I come back here and on a Saturday watching my boys play flag football, my grandsons at Thom. It wasn't that cold, but it was cold enough. I was freezing my butt up. You know what? When you go there in Key West and the weather's like that all the time, you get acclimated real fast.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I hear you. It's beautiful down, especially this time of year. It's been absolutely gorgeous, no doubt about it.
So how do I pick up the goods?
All right, so stay on the line, and Grizz will get your address now, whatever your address is now, and we will send you the certificate for the Gunnersville State Park.
Yeah, and I'll touch up. When the weather's warmer, I'll touch up on baseball.
Yeah, I hear you, man. All right, appreciate you. All right. Well, let me get to Philip in here. Philip, welcome to the show. How are you?
Well, I'm pretty angry. Do I need to get you off speakerphone?
I don't know.
Hear me good like that?
No, we can hear you fine. I don't know why you were messaging me at the same time. I don't know what was going on with that.
I'm so furious at what has transpired with sports media.
Yeah.
Not including you.
Yeah.
Because you're different. Women need to get the hell out of sports. Jesus Christ.
Hey, what are you doing? Taking the Lord's name in vain? What are you doing?
Me and my cousin.
Yeah.
Suffered, who's a female, by the way. She's a wonderful woman. I love her to death. We're first cousins. She's fantastic.
Yeah.
We're great friends. And we love sports. She's a Redskins fan. I'm a Cowboys fan. But we both love.
It's the Commanders now. That's the call. They're the Commanders. They're the Washington Commanders now.
Well, whatever. No, we won't go there. But anyway, so we had to spend an hour on the phone with Apple to get the damn Mets.
Oh, the Mets. Oh, yeah. And wasn't it an all-female crew doing the game?
No. It was two chicks and a dude who played for the Yankees. And for some reason, they thought that talking about squirrels for 15 minutes, talking about how old they were for 30 minutes, and talking about Derek Jeter. Who gives a rat's ass about Derek Jeter during a Mets Nationals game?
Well, see, that's the new thing. That's the new thing. It's like this K-Rod broadcast. It's like they just talk. It's like a talk show during the game. They don't broadcast the game.
When we're watching a baseball game.
Yeah, I agree. I'm with you. I'm with you, and I don't care about the women part of it, but I'm with you on that. Yeah, broadcast the game. All right, look, I got to get a break in here, Philip, because I got Stuart Stink standby.
Come back to me, because I'm not done yet.
Oh, okay.
I got things to spill on this.
All right. Well, I will let you back in because I want to hear this rant. I'll let you back in down the road. So stay there or just call us back when I open the phone lines up again a little bit later on. But I got to get Stuart Sink in here because he's driving on his way to Hilton Head. So I want to get the break in here. Philip is loose. He's on a rant. Should I let him back in? You guys can let me know in the text window. We'll be back with Stuart Sink next right here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
The world champs are back. The Braves are out to defend their world championship. And behind Matt Olson, Ronald Acuna, Dansby Swanson, Max Fried, and this loaded 2022 roster, a repeat is within reach.
Here goes Ozzie, 2-2 on the way, hit well. Deep center field. Might have ourselves a tie ball game. You betcha.
And we'll bring you every huge moment of the Braves 2022 season right here on the Atlanta Braves Radio Network.
This is Wes Neighbors talking to Chris Haygood of Bob Wallace Appliance. Chris, what sets you apart from other appliance dealerships?
Wes, these appliances are going into the most used room in your house, your kitchen. The way we have these appliances displayed, it's easy for you to visualize how they'll look in your home. Wes, what sets us apart is the people. They're well trained. In fact, they live and breathe these appliances. And if you need service, you'll really appreciate our parts department.
Contact Bob Wallace Appliance at 256-533-2121.
When I chose a garage door company, I did my homework. I needed Precision Overhead Garage Door Service. They have a 5-star Google rating. I checked their reviews and liked what their customers had to say. Precision Overhead Garage Door has lifetime warranty packages. Same-day service if I call before 2 p.m. If they can't make it the same day, my service call fee the next day is waived. They did a 25-point safety inspection on the door and operator. Now that's peace of mind. Residential, commercial, and gate services. Precision Overhead Garage Door Service. Call 256-400-4500.
TOC Sports has been there for you. Now, you're probably asking yourself, what does that mean? It means for more than 20 years, Alabama's largest orthopedic group has been there providing coverage and care to more schools and student athletes in the Tennessee Valley than any other group. It means whether you are the star football player, the all-region volleyball ace, or someone who hurt their knee in a weekend pickup basketball game, TOC Sports physicians are proud to have the opportunity to care for all your orthopedic needs. It means for parents, coaches, athletes, desk jockeys, or even weekend warriors, TOC Sports physicians continue to meet and exceed the orthopedic and sports medicine needs of our community. But most importantly, during these challenging times, we're here for you now, and will continue to be here. So as long as there are players on the field, games to be played, and contests to be won, the orthopedic specialists from TOC Sports will be ready to help. We don't know what the future holds, but you can count on the TOC Sports team to stay committed to you, so you can stay in the game. Call 256-539-2728 today and ask to see a TOC Sports physician. Check them out online, also Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
DQ presents. Picture this. You stand before the awe-inspiring new signature stack burger menu at DQ and your mouth wonders, where have you been all my life? That's 5 taste bud tempting cheeseburgers with 100% real seasoned beef. You peek at the loaded A1 stack burger with 2 premium sauces. Then the flamethrower stack burger with tongue-tingling jalapeno bacon. Then you realize moments like these are exactly why we have the DQ signature stack burger menu. DQ. Happy tastes good. Get it delivered at DQ.com.
Hey there, Bob Baumhauer here. Baumhauer's Victory Grill is your big game headquarters all fall long. And with our new fall features, every day is game day at Baumhauer's Victory Grill. Try our pregame starters, including our homemade onion strings, always fresh hot lips, and our all-new Buffalo Dippin' Chicken appetizer. Our main events include incredible chicken, fish, and shrimp selections, always featuring local Alabama Gulf seafood. And don't forget our Sunday Blitz, 11 to 6. Baumhauer's Victory Grill. Legendary fun, legendary food.
Hey, Bobby White from Woody Anderson Ford back again to talk to you about how easy it is to make a custom factory order. Just click WoodyAndersonFord.com, hit the top banner, then start making your selections. It's really simple, and you'll end up with the exact vehicle you want. Not only is there no extra charge to custom order, but at Woody Anderson Ford, we'll take 5% off MSRP on top of any additional factory rebates on the 2022 F-150, Bronco Sport, Explorer, Expedition, and Ranger. Another option for you is a certified pre-owned. We have over 100 Ford Blue Advantage certified pre-owned models to choose from. Our Ford Gold certified are low mileage, gently used with great warranties. They've passed a 175-point inspection by certified technicians and come with a 24-hour roadside assistance, plus a full tank of gas and a fresh oil change. Also, don't forget our service department is offering a free pickup and delivery when it's time for your next Ford service. Woody Anderson Ford, Jordan at Sparkman. Hope to see you soon.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Emily Owen. For this Monday, expect scattered showers and a few thunderstorms, otherwise a mostly cloudy sky. High temperatures topping out in the lower 70s for the afternoon. For your Monday night, a few isolated showers will still be possible. Otherwise, we'll see a mostly cloudy sky. Low temperatures falling into the lower 60s for the overnight. I'm meteorologist Emily Owen on your home for ESPN Radio 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
We cover all the SEC schools, including Western Union and Venmo.
I want that money!
You know, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This is Paul Feinbaum. Listen to me coming up today at 2. Now back to the Thom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
I'm ready for it. This segment of the show is brought to you by Woody Anderson Ford, taking care of the Tennessee Valley for a long time. I'm Woody Anderson Ford. The service department is second to none. Check it out. I just had my wife's Mustang in there, and they diagnosed it quickly and took care of it. We were panicking, but it was next to nothing, really, and they took care of it. They do a tremendous job down there, Woody Anderson Ford, Woody Anderson of Madison as well. The Scotty Scheffler, we didn't even know him like 20 minutes ago. He was the Korn Ferry Tour Player of the Year in 2019. Korn Ferry, of course, will be for the Huntsville Championship up at the Ledges. I wonder if Stuart Sink has ever played the Ledges. I mean, the Ledges is you got to be a billy goat to walk that thing, similar to Augusta. But he gave us a great moment, Stuart Sink did, at 16 on Friday when he threw a 8-iron in a jar from about 170 yards, and his son Reagan was on the bag as well. I mean, that is just so cool. And Stuart joins us now on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. Stuart, welcome back. How are you, man?
I'm doing great. Good to be back with you.
Have you ever played the Ledges in Huntsville up there on the mountain?
I haven't. I heard your question there in the lead-in, and no, I've never played it. I think it was built probably after I moved out of the area over towards Atlanta. And so I haven't played golf around Huntsville a long time, but I've heard great things about that place.
Yeah, the Ledges is absolutely amazing, and they'll have the Korn Ferry there coming up in 2 weeks for the Huntsville Championship. And, there's some great golfers that come out of this area. You were born in this area and ultimately moved, like you say. But, the Scotty Scheffler, I mean, it goes to the depth of the tour, I guess, but there are a lot of people that, like, over the winter, you don't pay as much attention to golf. Our rhythm is the old schedule. It starts in Hawaii and then in California. But you got this here, Scotty Scheffler. Guy kind of came out of nowhere. He's the number one player in the world. And, 2 years ago, he was the player of the year on the Korn Ferry Tour. And then Cam Smith, it just talks about how deep this tour is now, right?
Yeah, it's really remarkable how deep it is. And the level plays like I've never seen before. Top to bottom, it's really, really good, and the players are learning how to get better and compete more. And I think what you're seeing now, too, is the players who were kids when Tiger Woods was the best in the world, really the best in history, are now becoming in their 20s, 25 years old, and they're trying to emulate what they saw as a kid. And whereas a kid like me, I never thought that would be possible. But now they're seeing I saw Tiger Woods do this. So it is possible. And Scotty Scheffler now has won 4 tournaments in the last 2 months, and he's on top of the world, and I don't see any signs of him slowing down.
Stuart, he's won over $10 million this season in 13 events. He is now 6th all time. Now, Tiger has 5, 4, and 3, and Jordan Spieth's 2015 year is number 1. And, he's going to blow by Tiger. He's going to blow by Spieth. I mean, that $12 million mark that Spieth hit is going to be gonzo probably by the end of May. It's amazing. And Jon Rahm led the tour last year with $7 million. It's amazing the money that is out there. Now, you're in Tiger's class in terms of when you came in. You're only a couple of years older than Tiger. So you kind of experienced the boom in money that happened post-Tiger. But does it ever make you think, I wish I was born about 15 years later than what I was?
Every day. Every day I wish that. It'd be nice, but I have, been very, very fortunate and blessed to have basically coincided with Tiger's career, right alongside the boom that the game of golf experienced because of him. I got to participate in it the whole way, and I'm still participating in it. So I can't complain one bit. But yeah, I mean, what's happening with the PGA Tour here now going forward? It's just we're kind of in the post-Tiger era. I know Tiger played this week, and it was really amazing that he was able to get around and make the cut and play and walk. But we're kind of still in the post-Tiger era, and I think a lot of people, when we were in the Tiger era, were looking forward to golf and looking forward thinking, gosh, will golf be able to sustain itself after Tiger slows down? And I think that question's been answered resoundingly.
I would agree with you to an extent. Whereas with Tiger this week, what he did on Thursday and then making a cut on Friday, it made it a Tiger show, and then he faded over the weekend, which was to be expected. It was amazing he was even playing, but it does with the other guys, the Brooks Koepka, Bryson DeChambeau, they got their own injuries and so on, and Spieth, for whatever reason, doesn't seem to be the same as where he has been. Justin Thomas, we thought that this would be, maybe this was his tournament, that he was finally going to break through at Augusta. Those guys all kind of weren't around very much, and Rory shoots 64, and it feels like that dude should have even more than what he's got with 4 majors. But and then all of a sudden we got to know Cam Smith and Scotty Scheffler. It's like that other group, that Brooks Koepka, Thomas, the Shambo, all of those guys. It's almost kind of on them to carry it forward, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's just being spread around. And I think that's a healthy thing. It's like diversification. We don't just depend on Tiger Woods to carry the load. I mean, in a way, Tiger's legacy is so large that it still is a big part of our appeal to our sponsors and our fans, even when he's not playing. But there's so many popular players now that the fans are getting behind that they want to see play well. I mean, the Bryson and Brooks feud, I'll put it in air quotes, okay, the feud. Yeah. I'm not sure how authentic it really is, but people like that. And Bryson's the guy everyone loves to hate in a way. I mean, he's a different kind of guy, but he is fun to watch. I mean, if you paid any attention to golf last year at all, you know exactly where you were when he hit that drive across the water at Bay Hill at Arnold Palmer's tournament. And, it was a cool moment where he took it 370 yards right across the pond, and that stuff doesn't happen. So it's just we've spread around the appeal to different players, and it's not just one guy carrying the yoke anymore.
Yeah, Stuart Sink with us here talking about the state of golf right now after coming off of the Masters. You're in great shape. Look, you're going to defend at Harbortown. We'll get to that in a moment. You won at age 47. You're 48 now. Champions Tour around the corner, but you look like you can continue to play, on the big tour as long as you want. But you're not all yoked up like these guys are now. Some of them really took it to a certain degree post-Tiger, seeing what he did with his body. And, of course, famously, David Duval kind of lost his game when he did spend so much time in the weight room. But I wonder, it feels like we see more injuries than ever before, and I wonder if guys are doing too much with that, you know what I mean, with the weightlifting. Some of these guys look like linebackers nowadays, and I see guys like you that are in great shape but are still supple with long swings and so on, that maybe that's – well, you got that long swing. I mean, I don't talk about another man being supple usually, but you still got that long swing. But I wonder if some of the guys now are overdoing the weight training part of it.
Well, first of all, I've been called worse than supple, so I want to get that out of the way. Here's what I see happening as an insider in golf. It's the statistics-driven game, and when the statistics showed that power is probably like the number one indicator of success, everyone said, "Well, I'm going to get more of it then," and they go about changing their angle of attack on the ball to get power. They change their body. They change a lot of things, and we see it happening in colleges. There's more shoulder injuries. There's more knee and hip injuries because players are trying to do more to create power. And it's probably just a necessary byproduct of trying to get more out of your body in any sport. And in golf, it's just, we're seeing it. Yeah, we're seeing players with injuries that you didn't see 20 years ago because we didn't know that power was that big of a deal. I mean, sure, it was good to be long and longer than the rest of the guys, but nowadays, the way we play golf is inherently different than it used to be because we've learned how much importance power plays in the game. And so we're all chasing it. Everybody, even supple me, is chasing power and trying to be longer and trying to maximize my optimization off the tee with a driver and a ball and launch angles, all that stuff. It's a major part of my job, and it is for all of us. And so it will lead to some injuries, and you're going to have players spending more time, off trying to recover, and it's just part of sports. But golf, I think, has transitioned into more of a sport than it used to be.
Yeah, and then there's the equipment too. I mean, let's face it. On 16 Friday, you threw an 8-iron in a jar from 170. Now, I played college golf in the early 80s, so I'm really dating myself. I'm 61 years old now. And I played tour blades. Remember the old Wilson tour blade? And yeah. you could really kind of move the ball around a little bit. But my 8-iron, and I was fairly long. My 8-iron was my 145, 150 club. You know what I mean? That was my that was like that. My 7-iron was my 150 to 155 type club. You're throwing an 8-iron in the jar from 170 and flew it over and drew it back in, and you're 48 years old. I mean, the equipment's different. I mean, there's no doubt about it.
Oh, for sure. The ball is where the biggest difference is.
Really? Okay.
The ball just doesn't spin like it used to spin, and backspin creates drag, and drag slows the ball down. And so now you got a ball that it takes off a little faster than the old ball, but it doesn't slow down as much as the old ball. So it just goes farther. And that's the biggest difference is the ball. And yeah, that's what's enabled us to hit our 8-irons further than we used to hit our 8-irons. I was like you when I was playing my blade irons. I used to hit my 8-iron 150, and that was my shot. And now I'm 175 with an 8-iron. You know, that was a little. I hit 167 yards flying, and yeah, but that's totally explainable by the ball. I mean, my 10 feet the last it was.
I didn't
as
realize
the ball travels. That's what's different.
Yeah, Stuart Sink with us and realized it was the ball more than it was the equipment. All right, so Reagan was on the bag. You know you're missing the cut. It's 16 on Friday. You're not gonna cut, but you got Reagan on the bag, and you do this. Now you won a deal with Connor, right? The father-son thing you won with Connor. What was cooler, winning the father-son with Connor or throwing it in the jar on 16 at Augusta with Reagan on your bag?
Well, because we were missing the cut, and even making a hole in one, giving me a chance where I had to, if I'd birdied the last 2 holes, I would have snuck in the cut. Even, that was enough of a damper for me where I would still probably say winning father-son with Connor was the cooler moment. But Reagan has been caddying for me for a year and a half now, and we've had plenty of really cool moments. That was certainly up there with the top, making an ace. Making the only ace. I found myself rooting for no one else to make an ace last week. I'll just go ahead and get that out there. It was kind of nice to be the only one.
They played it all weekend. They played it all weekend. It was fantastic.
They played it all weekend. Yeah, nobody else could figure it out.
No, they did. They showed it all weekend. I meant they played it on TV all weekend.
Oh, they showed it all weekend. Yeah, you're right.
Oh, they showed it on TV all week. Every day they showed it on TV several times. So it was good. So you're on your way to Harbortown for the Stuart Sink Invitational. This is a place. First of all, it's my favorite course in the world that I've played, and I played my college golf at Oak Hill several times in upstate New York. So I've played Oak Hill, but I love Harbortown. It is a shot maker's course. It is I think that there's no reason why you can't go there and win again this year, but we don't see a lot of these kind of courses, and we don't see the Bombers really wanting to play there. I love the place though, because there are every club in the bag. You can be blocked out in the fairway because of the way the trees hang over the fairway and so on. Great place to go, and you go there to defend the place that you've won 3 times.
Yeah, I love playing there too. I feel very comfortable playing there, and it's a course that makes a lot of people feel uncomfortable because the greens are tiny. There's a lot of places where, like you said, you can get blocked out by trees, even in the middle of the fairway. And so it tests your attitude at times. You feel a little bit put upon if you hit a perfect drive and you're blocked. But you got to know that course, and the wind swirls. There's a lot of local knowledge, I guess. I mean, more experience than local knowledge, but it's a fun place to play, and I feel good vibes every year, and especially coming back as defending champion. It's a really good place to play golf, and feels good.
I mentioned that the Champions is around the corner for you, the Champions Tour. Is that something that you're looking forward to? I know you're going to keep playing on the big tour, but, obviously you're competitive. You got a win last year. But are you kind of looking forward to Champions?
In a way, I just have felt like as I got up into my mid and late 40s, that the more I think forward to that, it's going to sort of signal the end of my time on the PGA Tour. I'll just be done, and I don't want to be done. I feel like I still have too much juice to compete out here on the regular tour, and I'm fighting a few things in my later years that are inevitable for people. Like finding my focus is a little more difficult at times, and just age. It just stinks. So I'm sure you understand.
Oh, yeah.
So, but I don't want to give myself any chance to sort of throw in the towel and say, all right, I'm going to go out to the next stage of my career now. I feel like I've still got a chance to compete on the regular tour, so I'm going to do that.
I don't understand how I'll flush one. I mean, I just absolutely and it comes off the club face, off the drive, and I'm like, that's as good as I can hit it. That's just beautiful. And then my sons will step up and they'll airmail it. The ball will be at the apex when it's going over my ball. I'm like, what did you do that I can't do? It's all about swing speed. You can't, I'm like I say, I'm 12 years older than you. That's what goes away is the swing speed. I mean, you just want to make good contact, but the ball doesn't go anywhere anymore. That's the most frustrating thing.
Yeah, I hear you, and I know I haven't got there yet, and
you're pounding it.
Working really hard to make sure that happens later and later for me. But it's inevitable that when you get in your somewhere around 55 to 60, that really does start to slow down, and I'm hoping to take advantage of my time while I don't have that issue.
Well, we got that Corn Ferry thing coming up over there at the Ledges. Someday we got to figure out a way, get the guys at the Ledges, got to get you over there and have you play around there. It would be a really cool thing. Maybe raise some money for charity and get you on the Ledges because it's a flat out championship course. There's no doubt about it. It's the highest point in Huntsville, 1,500 feet above the floor of Huntsville City proper, and it's really, really beautiful up there. So it'd be cool to get you back to Huntsville someday to play there.
I've heard it's cool up there, and I've really heard great things about the course, and I would love an opportunity to come back sometime and play it. I'm be in my hometown. I was born and I went to kindergarten, lived my first 5 years of my life in Huntsville, right there in the shadow of the Space and Rocket Center. So I would love to come back sometime, and my in-laws live over in Muscle Shoals. My wife's parents live in Muscle Shoals, so I still come up to the area for visiting, and maybe we can make that happen sometime.
Yeah, I'll try and make that happen sometime. Raised in the Florence area, for those of you that don't know, with Stuart Sink. All right, man, I appreciate you. Good luck this weekend. I'll be watching. I love that tournament, and we'll be watching this weekend, and we wish you the best of luck defending your title from last year.
All right, Tom. Thanks a lot. Thanks for having me. Good
Thanks,
talking
Stuart.
to you.
Appreciate you. I've had Stuart on a number of times over the last 6 or 8 years. He was also the subject. There's a show I do in Florida on Kingdom FM, is the network down there, which is a commercial. It's a commercial Christian station and network, and I have had him on that show as well. He's got very strong faith. So we did a Stuart Sink show on Kingdom FM. By the way, on that show this week, Grizz, on it's called Field of Faith Radio. I should post links to it, so that you guys can listen to it as a podcast if you want it. It's a half-hour show, athletes giving their testimony. This week, Jim Zorn was on. Very cool. The show. Jim Zorn, former.
You gotta send me that because I don't ever get to hear that.
Yeah, it really is a neat show, and Jim and I hit it off. It was the first time I talked to him when I recorded the show last week, and we hit it off great. And he loves talking ball, and so he's going to be coming on a few times and talking football with us on this show as well in the future. Of course, he was the coach at Washington. That didn't end well for him there. He only was given 2 years, and of course, that goofy Daniel Snyder there, but he handled that professionally, and he was a great quarterback. Zorn the Largent, back in the day before you were born. I mean, it was Zorn the Largent, and he's just a really cool guy as well. All right, let's get a break in here. We'll come back, wrap up hour number 1 next, right here on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Ann Adams with Berkshire Hathaway Rise Real Estate is the one name to know if you're buying or selling real estate. With years of local experience, Ann Adams offers buyers in-depth knowledge of the local housing market and will narrow available properties down to those you'll be interested in so you can save time when shopping for your new home. If you're ready to sell, Ann offers a seamless process using accurate pricing and expert negotiation skills to make sure you get a fair price for your home. Call Ann Adams today at 256-337-2625 or log on bhhsriserealestate.com.
I love overpriced stuff. Avocados, designer t-shirts, artisanal water. That's why I get my internet from the other guys. Paying more for the same stuff. What could be better?
Wow is better. For just $19.99 a month, we give you the super fast, extra reliable internet you need. Act now before this deal is gone. Internet 100 for just $19.99 a month. Plus, learn how to get up to $300 on us. Sign up at Huawei.com. Wow. Limited to new customers with autopay and paperless billing. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra. Offer subject to change. Restrictions and terms apply.
Are you tired of chasing a roofing contractor to show up on time or even show up at all? I'm Sam Fleming with Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Our motto at Fleming Roofing is we show up. Our goal at Fleming Roofing is to provide the reliable customer service that you deserve, and we have the resources to meet all of your roofing needs: residential, commercial, industrial, replacement, or repairs. We are manufacturer certified for roof coatings, single-ply membranes, and asphalt shingles. Whenever you need a roofing professional you can count on, call Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We are committed to finding the solution that meets your needs. We don't have quotas or heavy-handed sales tactics. Fleming Roofing. We have expert experience. We show up. Free estimates. Residential, commercial, industrial, replacement, or repairs. Check us out at FlemingHSV.com. FlemingHSV.com. When you need a quick response, it's Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
What's better than Valley Equipment Rental? 2 Valley Equipment Rentals, and that's just what we have now. The original on the South Memorial Parkway between Drake and Airport Road, and their second location on North Memorial Parkway just north of Winchester Road. Valley Equipment is locally owned and has more skid steers, excavators, and lifts than anyone in the area, plus all the small tools that you need to get the job done like a pro. And if you are a pro, you need to check out the new North location now because Valley Equipment has what you need. Learn more at valleyequipmentrents.com.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Emily Owen. For this Monday, expect scattered showers and a few thunderstorms, otherwise a mostly cloudy sky. High temperatures topping out in the lower 70s for the afternoon. For your Monday night, a few isolated showers will still be possible. Otherwise, we'll see a mostly cloudy sky. Low temperatures falling into the lower 60s for the overnight. I'm meteorologist Emily Owen on your home for ESPN Radio 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
All the press conferences.
It's our mental energy. I would say spend less time complaining about, when I was going to get an opportunity. Just spend more time training and working towards.
Plus, all of the rat poison is served up right here.
It's yummy.
On 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
All right, we got to let Phillip finish things off. We're going to talk Auburn football at the top of the hour with Justin Ferguson, but let's let Phillip finish off his rant because he stayed on hold the whole time through the Stuart Sink interview. Phillip, you get the final 3 minutes of the hour. What do you got?
Are you still there?
Yeah, we're here. Go ahead.
I gotta think turn my thing off. I'm sorry, Tom. I'm like on my deathbed.
Yeah. Don't die.
So,
there are people that really enjoy your calls, so we don't want you to die. I can afford to lose listeners.
This just it has to stop with the women in sports. This has to stop. It's embarrassing. But men don't want. I can't even watch ESPN anymore. I can't watch it. It's unwatchable.
So you don't like him in the role of host, like on the NFL shows and stuff like that?
Like they're reading a weather forecast from a local news station.
Yeah.
They don't know what they're talking about. I'm tired of their voices. I'm sick and tired of them. And then I swear to God, Tom, the final straw was that Mets game on Friday night with the whole Apple crap. This has to end. Stop it.
Yeah.
Who is going to be the person? Because you can't say you suck. Because if you say you suck, which everybody said they sucked, you're a sexist.
Yeah.
If you tell the guy who used to be a Yankee who wanted to talk about Derek Jeter for freaking 20 minutes during a baseball game.
Yeah.
You suck. Oh, you can't say that. You're black. You're a racist. You can't. Stop. Can we just not have sports some more? Can we get some sports? Real people.
So is it the content, or is it that? Is it the content, or is it that women are delivering the content?
It's that. I think it's that women are delivering the content. That's what's happened.
So if it was two dudes talking about Derek Jeter, would it were two dudes talking about Derek Jeter, would it have been okay?
No.
Oh.
We don't care about Derek Jeter when we're watching the Mets and the Nationals.
Yeah.
That's nothing against Derek Jeter, but that's not the time or place.
Yeah.
We didn't turn in to watch The View. The View could have called the game better than those three buffoons called that baseball game.
I've yet to watch one of them on Apple because the Yankees, they haven't put them on it. The Yankees stay on the big networks, ESPN and Yes and things like that.
They will. They're going to get them. And
I don't think you can put a Yankee game on like an Apple app.
That does.
Do they?
I'm telling you, it is horrid.
Okay.
It's the worst. But that's what you can't. Are you watching ESPN right now? I'm not. I watch Discovery Channel. I'm listening to you. If you put it on, there'll be some chick blabbing about. What is the purpose of bringing all these women? There is a chick managing one of your minor league. She won.
Yankees. She got a win in her first game. Rachel Balkovich or something like that. Yeah, she got a win. Well, because
Tom, there was a time where women were not allowed. Women were not allowed in a dugout.
There you go. All right, Philip, I appreciate it. All right, react to that when we get done with Justin Ferguson. What do you think? Is he just saying what you're thinking? Is it bad that there's a woman manager in the Yankees low A system? I mean, does it bother you? You're not like the women. Look, they're on TV. A lot of it is eye candy, and a lot of it is why would we block out half our society from the opportunity to cover sports? We'll talk A-Day with Justin Ferguson next on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Hey, Bobby White from Woody Anderson Ford back again to talk to you about how easy it is to make a custom factory order. Just click WoodyAndersonFord.com, hit the top banner, then start making your selections. It's really simple, and you'll end up with the exact vehicle you want. Not only is there no extra charge to custom order, but at Woody Anderson Ford, we'll take 5% off MSRP on top of any additional factory rebates on the 2022 F-150, Bronco Sport, Explorer, Expedition, and Ranger. Another option for you is a certified pre-owned. We have over 100 Ford Blue Advantage certified pre-owned models to choose from. Our Ford Gold certified are low mileage, gently used with great warranties. They've passed a 175-point inspection by certified technicians and come with a 24-hour roadside assistance, plus a full tank of gas and a fresh oil change. Also, don't forget our service department is offering a free pickup and delivery when it's time for your next Ford service. Woody Anderson Ford, Jordan at Sparkman, hope to see you soon.
WZZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi with what you need to know. Frank Vogel has coached his final game for the Lakers. He's out in L.A. and will be informed of that decision as soon as today, according to ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski. The search for his replacement expected to be expansive and lengthy and without a clear-cut frontrunner. Lakers finished 33-49, missed out on the NBA's play-in tournament. You can catch the press conference of LA's LeBron James in an hour on ESPN TV. Woj also reporting the pain-free progress with point guard Ben Simmons back, fueling optimism he could return for the first round of the playoffs if the Nets advance out of the play-in tournament against the Cavaliers. 76ers guard Matisse Thybulle cannot play in the first round in Toronto because he's not fully vaccinated. Unvaccinated foreign nationals currently prohibited from entering Canada. Thybulle will miss games 3 and 4 against the Raptors.
When we say local, we mean local, not Birmingham.
Loser.
We are the only sports talk station in Huntsville. It's all right here. 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
You've got a magical glow.
You need to be more like a dog.
Like what you guys are doing. You've got your fingertip on the pulse of your listeners. You guys know what they're talking about.
Be a dog.
God bless the show. You are the Messiah.
We need more dogs.
This is the best show on radio.
The big dog, Thom Abraham, is here with you.
Hey, I see you. I see you, dog.
So settle in and get your bark on.
That's my dog.
Now live Here he is, the big dog, Thom Abraham.
How you doing? 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 How you doing?
Look, I don't speak Spanish.
I don't know how to say this, so I'm going to choose my words very carefully. I think you're a psycho.
Do you know who I am?
I mean, that guy sounds like Dale McPherson farting into Miles Davis' trumpet.
I guess I'm on here. Am I on? Can somebody respond? Get off my lawn.
I have to drag my Yankee ass out of here.
And welcome back. Hour number 2 of the Thom Abraham Show. This segment of the show brought to you by North Alabama Mortgage. At North Alabama Mortgage, they're servicing all of Alabama, Florida, and Tennessee with conventional VA, FHA, and USDA loans. And they can help you out with the refinance or a new purchase. And they're going to get your deal done as best as possible, all right? And you can get that refinance for a home renovation or college expenses or whatever. Home values are up, and they'll help you get some of that money out of your house. And, the bottom line is Brian Hamaker, his team, they're going to treat you like family. I know, because I was one of their clients. I was one of their clients after they became a sponsor of the show, not before. It wasn't like, oh, I did my mortgage with North Alabama Mortgage, and then they became a sponsor. It was the other way around. They became a sponsor, and then I did my mortgage with North Alabama Mortgage, and it was a pleasure. It was easy, and it was just they just did a tremendous job guiding me through that whole morass that can be the mortgage process. All right, joining us now on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline, a guy like the rest of us that finally got a chance to kind of see the whole body of work, if you will, of the Auburn Tigers this spring. Justin Ferguson from the Auburn Observer. And he joins us now. Justin, welcome back. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you, Tom?
I am fantastic. And I don't know, this is probably a feeling that a lot of people have. Robbie Ashford. That was a little surprising. I did not expect that because he was a guy that couldn't, break into the lineup at Oregon. And now I'm wondering, why. He was the offensive MVP of the game at A-Day, 12 of 16, 132 yards against the first-team defense with the second-team offense. But more so, Justin, I felt he just looked so natural. Sometimes T.J. Finley looks forced. This kid looks unbelievably natural in his delivery and his movement and his leadership and everything else out there. What was your take?
Yeah, no, I think this was the coming out party for Robbie Ashford. And this is something we've seen in the spring. First half of spring, it was kind of like, hey, Robbie Ashford's got a good arm. Like what you're kind of seeing out of him maybe early on. And then the second half of spring ball, it was, hey, Robbie Ashford's getting as many reps as anybody except for maybe T.J. Finley right now. And he's really, really come on. Here in camp, and then you get to see this kind of play out at A-Day, where, like you said, with the second team offense against the first team defense, he was the best looking quarterback out there. I think his ability to move and improvise, and just flat out run. I mean, there were some things that were whistled quickly because spring game. When your quarterback's getting touched, that would have been big plays. If it was live football. He's got great size. He's got great arm. He's the most athletic of that crew. He just doesn't have any experience yet. But one of the big things for him, I think, was, okay, what does he look like actually running the offense? You can have all the traits, you can have all the, the skill and the ability, but you don't have any experience at the college level. What's it going to look like when the bullets are flying? And the closest thing you're going to get the bullets flying until the fall. I thought he operated the offense really well, and like you said, looked really natural. He's just a smooth kind of operator at the quarterback spot, and I think he showed a lot of to show that he's going to be a serious contender in the fall.
He was credited with 2 sacks. I don't think he gets sacked on either one of those plays that they called sack. That was a quick whistle that you were referring to. And then he also had that run down by the goal line where they called him down at like the 5 because the guy reached out and grabbed his towel, basically. There's no way he's getting stopped on that play. I mean, if that's live, that's a touchdown. He's taking that ball in. That was the part that surprised me, was his agility and mobility, and especially watching Finley and then the Greiner kid at the end. It looked totally different, and we know Zach Calzada doesn't have that kind of mobility either. So it looked totally different. But it's not like, oh, this is a running quarterback. This is a kid that stood in the pocket and completed balls 20 yards downfield with zip on it and looked like he just looked natural, I guess is my word.
Yeah, no, he is. He's a really good quarterback. He can stand in the pocket, make plays. His arm talent was the first thing that popped out about him when I first started watching him in the spring. For a baseball player, he's 6'4", drives the ball really well. But that athleticism, it's just another dimension, right? If you want to think of, okay, if you're Robbie Ashford, you're having to beat out, if you're going to win this job, you're going to have to beat out two guys with SEC West starting experience. What are you going to do to kind of overcome that? I think that athleticism is a huge, bonus to him. We've seen Finley and Calzada move around, but not quite like this. This is a guy who can use his legs as a weapon. And, it's not one of those things where you need him to run the ball 10, 15 times a game for him to be successful. It's more of a thing of he can get out of pressure. And I think, that the run you're talking about is 3rd and 1 little zone read. Just little things like that, just little kind of boosts that other guys can't give you that I think could really be a weapon for him as he, tries to push and be the starting quarterback. I thought, he was the guy who, I think needed a really good spring to really impress folks because of what he's going up against. And he definitely delivered, and I think the spring game was a really good example of that.
Yeah, and it makes you feel good about the room. There was a lot of talk about Bo Nix leaving, but it makes you feel like, there's we know what Calzada can do, so now there's at least 3 guys in that room that it feels like could be the quarterback, and that competition is going to make them all better. Have you researched it all? What kept – and we saw Ashford, flash, and he was a star at Hoover, which is, like a junior college, for God's sakes. Why didn't it work at Auburn at all? I mean, how does he not see the field at all? I mean, at Oregon, how does he not see the field at all at Oregon? Who's keeping this kid off the field? Because that was the thing the other thing was that who's the Oregon quarterback that kept this guy on the boundary?
Yeah, no, it was one of those things where if you look at Oregon, this has been an issue the last couple seasons with Oregon, is that they've got really talented young guys in that room. I mean, Ty Thompson, the guy who's battling Bo Nix right now up in Eugene, is a former 5-star. And even he was behind the guy who ended up winning the job in Anthony Brown the last couple of seasons. Right. And that was just a pure experience thing. I think that was Oregon opting with the veteran guy because, Thompson, 5-star guy, Ashford, high 4-star guy. Neither of those guys could get on the field because I think it's just the coaching staff just opted for experience more than anything. You watch his spring game tape at Oregon, he was making similar plays like this one, like he did in this game. It's just people up at Oregon, fans especially, were really high on him, and it's just the former staff at Oregon opted for experience, and so it's one of those things where he wasn't the only guy they felt like was kind of getting shafted in that, and Auburn's been able to take advantage of it, and we'll see if he ends up being the guy for Auburn. But man, even if he's not, you feel really good about a dude like that in your room because he's just got a ton of talent. I mean, the recruiting rankings aren't gospel, obviously, but this is the dude who was the highest ranked recruit, for Auburn in that quarterback room right now, and that ought to say a lot.
Justin Ferguson with us from the Auburn Observer. T.J. Finley, he always looks clunky to me. He just looks forced and a little bit of robotic, but he did look better, I thought. I mean, he threw the ball better. He made some nice passes. I mean, is this, in your opinion, what you were looking at there and comparing to what we saw in the last 3 games of last year when he was starting, did it look like T.J. Finley had maybe improved his game a little bit?
I think he has. I think there's some parts of it, the way he's throwing the ball, that's gotten more consistent. I think he's gotten a lot of first-team reps in the spring. Ryan Harsin has been very, very pleased with him and his progress, stepping up and being more of a leader for the team, kind of being a more vocal guy as the experienced quarterback, the only one in the room. So I think those are some things that, they really, really like about him. And I think in the spring game, he had some bad misses. He had some really good throws as well. He had a touchdown, the deep ball touchdown that was dropped. I mean, there was, this was, it could have been a better day for him statistically. He said afterwards, some good, some bad. And I think that's a good way to kind of look at it for him. And I'm getting the vibe with Finley like I kind of got with Bo Nix, just in a different style, obviously, of quarterback. Where with Finley, it's like he can make some throws and he can make some plays where you're like, man, he's got it. It's just got to come on a much more consistent basis. I think that's the thing he's just got to work on. You know, he can make those really, really good throws and those really good plays, but then missing some of the layup throws and making some kind of mistakes with his reads and stuff like that. You know, it's just stuff he's got to tighten up on because he's got the tools. It's just got to come a little bit more consistently, and I know that's what Brian Harsin and Eric Keesaw are really preaching with him.
Tank Bigsby was all but gone in the offseason. It looked like he was going to transfer out, and he decided to stay. And it looks like they've got more things in mind for him. They're kind of using him all over the place, using him almost like an Alvin Kamara type guy, putting him out in the slot. And It looks like they're going to want to do different things to get him the ball.
Yeah, no, he's going to be a guy who's going to be on the field all the time. And, yeah, there were a few opportunities. We saw Auburn go 5 wide. And had him out in the slot, and they really want to use him more as a receiver this year, just because they think, hey, he's the most talented player you got. And it's kind of like the same thing with the tight ends. When Auburn's wide receiver room is so thin and so light on returning production, you try to get help from other guys as much as possible. And Bigsby was one of them. You didn't get to see Tank or the running game at all really do a whole lot on Saturday. Part of the reason for that was Auburn's offensive line, they had 4 guys that are starters not participate, so it was kind of a reserve look on both sides. And then Auburn's defensive line, I thought, played really, really well. And that, so not much of a showcase for the running game, and that was kind of, by design a little bit. Instead, you got to see Tank Bigsby kind of run different routes and try to get some other guys involved as well. And, yeah, I mean, it's just it's common sense there with Tank. He's your best player. Find as many ways as you can to get the ball in his hands.
That brings us to Jarquez Hunter, though, who missed most of spring practice. He was a freshman last year, and he looked good at times. Looked very explosive. Do you think that there'll be sets now where we might see both of these guys in the game, where Hunter might be in the backfield and Bigsby might be, in a slot, or because if Bigsby's on the field all the time, what does that mean for Hunter?
Yeah, no, I think that's one of those things that it will be interesting to see what Jarquez Hunter looks like when he comes back from the surgery that he had and the recovery, because he is that kind of explosive one cut back. You haven't seen him be as much of a receiver, do a variety of things. I think they're a little bit more comfortable with that with Tank. So yeah, that is definitely an option. I think, Auburn's, like I said, the Auburn's wide receivers, the depth that they have there, they can always get better and they can always add more here in the offseason. But I think they're going to try to get as many different guys on the field as possible and be very versatile, kind of unpredictable. Use a lot of pre-snap motion, move guys around. And, when you're a team like Auburn, I think everybody who looks at this team this season knows, they're not at a talent level or a depth level of an Alabama or a Georgia or some of these other teams, Texas A&M. Some of these teams are going to be playing in the SEC. But if you can find ways to kind of scheme your guys open and find different ways to get them the ball and kind of overcome some of the issues you do have on your roster right now, try anything you got. And in the past, we have seen, Brian Harsin in this offense use things like 2-back sets, use things like, getting 2 or 3 tight ends on the field, but not necessarily playing kind of, just overly conservative pro-style ball with it. It's just going to be a lot of mixing and matching, I think.
Yeah, tight end's not an issue, it doesn't look like, right? I mean, they got enough of them that can play. It seems like they'll have their choice of how many tight ends they want to put out there that can play.
Yeah, for sure. And they've moved Landon King to kind of be this kind of hybrid wide receiver tight end. Second half of spring ball, he was working more with the wide receivers. He made a late touchdown catch, really good catch as an outside receiver. So yeah, you've got a ton of depth at tight end. John Samuel Shanker is going to be a guy that they throw the ball to a lot this year. They really like the progress that Luke Deal and Brandon Frazier made as receiving options. Tyler Fromm is always a weapon. Micah Riley-Ducker, the young freshman that came in, has got all the size and the skill that you want. So yeah, I mean this Auburn team did not shy away from running 2 and 3 tight ends on the field at a time last season. They're going to roll that back again because everybody's back and they're even more experienced now.
That's good stuff. Defensively, you mentioned the D-line. Of course, they were going up against a mismatch of offensive linemen. But that's the thing you look for is the one-on-one battles there. There's not scheming going on. There's not a lot of game planning going on here. It's just, can you get off a block and make a play? And we saw some of that. What else flashed to you defensively?
Linebackers. I thought the linebackers played really well. This was an area that I was focused on before the game. No Owen Papo, he's still recovering from some of the injuries that kept him out for most of last season. No Zakoby McClain, no Chandler Wooten now. Who's going to step up at linebacker? And the attention this spring has been focused on two guys in Cam Riley and Wes Steiner. Both of those guys played well. Riley was defensive MVP, had a sack, 5 tackles. Steiner led everybody in tackles. They did work in the running game and against the pass. I thought both of those guys played well. And that's a group that outside of Papo doesn't have a ton of experience right now. So seeing those guys kind of step up and make plays, and even the second team guys against the first team offense made plays. You had Des Tisdale had quite a few tackles. Powell Gordon had a big tackle for loss. Joko Willis, they're using in some of these sub packages as kind of like an extra pass rusher. Got in the backfield a couple times. Just a lot of different guys out there at linebacker that you just need progress and development from all of them in order to be the best defense you can be next to Owen Papo later this season. So I thought that was a really big bright spot. For those two guys that have a ton of attention, a ton of pressure on them to go out and perform, was a really, really good sign for this defense.
I know it was a windy day, and it was kind of cool. It felt like a football day is what it felt like, more than anything else. But what was your take on less than 30,000 people showing up for the game? Was that do you take anything away from that? Wondered about whether or not Brian Harsin is creating excitement enough for these for the fans?
You know what? I mean, I honestly thought that the crowd was about where maybe a little bit even bigger than I expected it to be. It's just because I think the general kind of vibe around the program right now is there's a lot of fans that are saying, like, you know what, we'll get to it in the fall, or, there's been a lot of focus on kind of basketball and other things. I don't sense there's this great, buzz of excitement. This is not a first year. This is not a year where you expect Auburn to be a contender in the SEC, right off the bat. So, I think the crowd kind of matched it, but even then it was a little bit bigger. Maybe if the weather was nicer, you may have had some more. But I thought, for what the situation Auburn finds itself in, I thought it was a decent crowd. For an 8A game, and we'll see if they'll be able to kind of pick it up. I would assume that once we get to August and September, people are going to be fired back up. Auburn's got their first 5 games at home next year, or this season, I should say. And, that place will be packed out pretty early.
That Penn State game looms large, though, man. I mean, they shouldn't have any problem in those first 2, but that Penn State game coming in there, I mean, it's nice to see a game like that on campus again, And by the way, we should mention, I mean, Texas A&M, there's a lot of hype about Texas A&M, right? Texas A&M has had more 5-stars this year than the entire Big Ten combined, and the ACC combined. I mean, it was stupid. And they had 22,000 at their game. So, so that was kind of surprising as well. So maybe people are kind of catching on about, going to a practice.
Yeah, no, and I thought Auburn's, I mean, look, it was, not a ton of depth. There's a lot of guys who are banged up. This was very kind of situationally based. I mean, it's 4 8-minute quarters, run clock in the second half. I mean, it's football-ish, but it really isn't,
practice. You're going to a practice.
Exactly. Yeah. It was a practice, and some fans. I mean, and the other thing here is that I don't know what the ticket prices are elsewhere, but you had to pay $10 to go to this one. So that might be a block for a lot of other folks to be like, man, do you really want to pay $10 to watch practice? I know I wouldn't, but I'm not a fan, so I can't speak for everybody there.
How long have they been doing that? Because I remember going to 8A games in Tuscaloosa where you didn't have to pay anything. I mean, this is kind of more of a new thing, right? And then when you charge for your game, anybody can go, right? The other team, other teams can come and send a scout and have them buy a ticket and go to the game.
Yeah, no, it's just $10 is general admission. I think that's fairly new. I guess it's one of those things where it's like, well, look, if you can get 30,000 people in there for $10 a pop, that's $300,000. You're not going to pass up on that if you can take it. If you're an athletics department. So, but yeah, I mean, I do wonder if it was free, how many more people would show up. If that's worth anything. But I think everybody kind of gave up on the fact that it's like spring game attendances really aren't that big of a deal, especially you just talked about A&M and what they had. And also, it's like, man, ain't nobody going to touch Alabama, so like, why even bother? Try to get some money out of it.
That's been slipping though too over the years. The last, the days of 90,000 showing up and all that kind of stuff is goofy. Back in 2010, 2011, Alabama had over 90,000 at their game. They only had 47,000 last year, and it'll be interesting to see how many show up this upcoming Saturday, being that it's a Saturday before Easter. People will be traveling and things like that. So it'll be interesting to see. I think those halcyon days, of huge crowds. I think the biggest crowd this year anywhere in the country was Nebraska, had like 50,000 at their game.
Yeah. Nebraska folks out there show up for anything football related.
They got
no matter how good or bad they are.
Yeah, they don't have anything else to do. So, all right, man. Well, I appreciate you. Great stuff. I appreciate you all season long with the basketball, the football, everything else. We won't talk about Auburn baseball or softball at this point in time, but we will. We'll look forward to getting hooked up with you when things start to heat up again.
Absolutely. Thank you, Tom.
All right, thank you. Chris, did the Auburn softball team get like lit up in some game? I saw something that's, I don't know if it was the baseball team or the softball team. Didn't they get like 20 hung on them or something? Or they got like, they got run ruled in like 3 innings or 4 innings or 5 innings or something?
I'm not really sure. I have not.
17-4
in 5 innings, so yeah.
Yeah,
against
they
Arkansas
got run ruled
over the weekend. They got swept actually by Arkansas at Arkansas.
And Arkansas run ruled them in Sunday's game. What do you think the crowd will be? Last year was 47,000. In 2019, remember 2020, no game or no fans. 2019, it was 62,000. 2016 through 18, it was mid-70s at Alabama. 2015 was 65,000. It all changed in 07 when Nick Saban showed up. In 2006, there was 40,000, 25,000 a year before, and then 40. And then Saban showed up, and then Saban's first 8A game, and he said, we need full participation from the fans and all that stuff. 92,138 in his first 8A game in 2007.
That was before all the renovations and all the new stuff. And
that was when that's what they held. 92,138. That was all you get. Then it was 78-84. Yeah. And then then they win the national championship in 09, right? So 10 was 91,000. 11 was the most ever. That was 92,310. And then it goes on to be maybe the greatest team in this run. Then 78,000, 78,000, 73,000, 65, 76, 74, 74, 62. And last year it fell off to 47. Now, I don't know when they started charging. I think they charge now for the 8A game. I thought it was $5 maybe to go to the 8A game. But it'll be interesting to see. It would not surprise me if it ended up being like 40,000 this year. I mean, it's the day before Easter and everything. I mean, we'll see. We'll see. All right, let's get a break. When we come back, we're going open lines the rest of the way. I got a number of other things to get into, including telling you about something cool that's going on at Protective Stadium on Saturday for the opening game of the new USFL. We'll tell you about that and get into some other stuff right after this on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
You're listening to the Thom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This is Brent Musburger's VSiN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Heads up, sports bettors. Right now you can try VSiN All Access free for 30 days with no credit card required. Visit vsin.com/free month to sign up now.
The Atlanta Braves hosting the Washington Nationals tonight. Atlanta 2-2 after the first weekend. -110 on the money line. Washington 1-3, -106. The over-under at 9.5. Anibal Sanchez taking them out against Huascar Ynoa. It's the first full week of the 2022 Major League Baseball season. The LA Dodgers are the favorite to win the World Series, +450. The Blue Jays at +800. Houston Astros behind them at +950. Then the two New York teams at +1,000. The Mets and the Yankees round out the top 5 on the odds board. Only one game in the NHL tonight. The Jets on the road against the Canadiens. Montreal +125 on the money line at home. Winnipeg -145. The over-under 6.5.
I'm Trey Westerberg, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
The Trash Pandas start the 2022 season tomorrow night against the Pensacola Blue Wahoos. Opening night will feature a first pitch from Auburn football legend Kerryon Johnson, plus a pregame flyover and postgame fireworks. Get your tickets for all the fun now at TrashPandasBaseball.com. Trash Pandas Baseball. Have a blast.
Let's rock it.
What's better than Valley Equipment Rental? 2 Valley Equipment Rentals, and that's just what we have now. The original on the South Memorial Parkway between Drake and Airport Road, and their second location on North Memorial Parkway just north of Winchester Road. Valley Equipment is locally owned and has more skid steers, excavators, and lifts than anyone in the area, plus all the small tools that you need to get the job done like a pro. And if you are a pro, you need to check out the new North location now because Valley Equipment has what you need. Learn more at valleyequipmentrents.com.
TOC Sports has been there for you. Now, you're probably asking yourself, what does that mean? It means for more than 20 years, Alabama's largest orthopedic group has been there providing coverage and care to more schools and student athletes in the Tennessee Valley than any other group. It means whether you are the star football player, the all-region volleyball ace, or someone who hurt their knee in a weekend pickup basketball game, TOC Sports physicians are proud to have the opportunity to care for all your orthopedic needs. It means for parents, coaches, athletes, desk jockeys, or even weekend warriors, TOC Sports physicians continue to meet and exceed the orthopedic and sports medicine needs of our community. But most importantly, during these challenging times, we're here for you now, and will continue to be here. So as long as there are players on the field, games to be played, and contests to be won, the orthopedic specialists from TOC Sports will be ready to help. We don't know what the future holds, but you can count on the TOC Sports team to stay committed to you, so you can stay in the game. Call 256-539-2728 today and ask to see a TOC Sports physician. Check them out online, also Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
The kitchen is the heart of any home. It's where the family gathers. It's where kids discover old recipes and make them their own. Just starting out or just now getting started on the dream kitchen you've always wanted?
I'm Chris Haygood, and from all of us here at Bob Wallace Appliance to the home builders and the homeowners of the Huntsville area, a heartfelt thank you for buying local. We're in Huntsville, Florence, and Coleman, and online at bobwallaceappliance.com.
Thom Abraham here from my friend Brian Hamaker and his team at North Alabama Mortgage. Look, buying a home is the biggest purchase you will make in your life, and it can be a bit intimidating, so you want people that can help walk you through the mortgage process and get you the best deal possible. That's what North Alabama Mortgage does, and they do it in Alabama, Tennessee, and Florida, from first-time purchases to refis, conventional, VA, FHA, and USDA loans. They have the solution at North Alabama Mortgage. Visit NorthAlabamaMortgage.com to learn more. That's NorthAlabamaMortgage.com.
The PGA Tour's Corn Ferry Tour is coming to the Rocket City. Join us at the Ledges for the Huntsville Championship, April 29th through May 2nd. Experience the beauty and drama of the course firsthand. Witness golf's rising stars chase their PGA Tour dreams. Cheer on the future of golf up close and personal. Tickets are on sale now at HuntsvilleChampionship.com.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Emily Owen. For this Monday, expect scattered showers and a few thunderstorms, otherwise a mostly cloudy sky. High temperatures topping out in the lower 70s for the afternoon. For your Monday night, a few isolated showers will still be possible. Otherwise, we'll see a mostly cloudy sky. Low temperatures falling into the lower 60s for the overnight. I'm meteorologist Emily Owen on your home for ESPN Radio 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
This is Steve Moulton from The Drive. Be sure and join us today from 5 to 7 with Wes Neighbors and me. Now back to the Thom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
segment of the Thom Abraham Show is brought to you by our good friends at Valley Equipment Rental, now with their second location open out on the North Parkway, north of Winchester Road is where you'll find them. More dozers and excavators and large equipment out there for the contractor, and it's freed up room to have even more stuff at the South Parkway as well. You need to get on down there and check it out, both locations. Anything you need to get the job done like a pro, they've got it there. They got more skid steers and excavators than anybody in the Tennessee Valley, and are locally owned. We have great pride in our locally owned businesses, and Ross Roberts and his crew down there do a tremendous job. And look, if you're not sure about a piece of equipment or what you need to get a particular job done, they will help you in terms of making sure that you've got the right equipment to get the job done for you. Phone lines are open now. If you want to jump in, you can do it. 256-576-4977 will get you into the game. Saturday brings not only a day for Alabama at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, but it also brings the debut of the USFL Saturday night. Now, there's going to be something going on at Protective Stadium called Spring Stock. And at Spring Stock, it's going to begin at noon. It's going to go from noon until 4 o'clock, and it's going to be the game starts at 6:30. So from noon to 4, basically what it is it's a full-blown tailgate party from the from the parking lot there, and there'll be all day long podcasts that are going on, broadcasts that are going on across the country that are going to be available throughout the day. You'll be able to hear it if you come out to Spring Stock. And here's the cool thing: Grizz and I are going to be there. All right, we'll have the TOC tent down there as well. Right, Chris? He's like, oh, wait a minute.
If it can fit in my car.
If it fits in my car, we'll have the TOC tent down there. Otherwise, I'll bring it down if I have to. But Spring Stock will be taking place from noon until 4. I will be one of the guests that'll be on their podcast for the USFL Newsroom. Those are the people that are doing all of this deal. There'll be food, drink, giveaways, the live broadcast. It's all taking place at a big pregame party, a tailgate party before opening game. Now, they did, Grizz, have each team played one preseason game, all right, this last weekend. So we've seen some video of what it's going to look like and what some of the technology is that is in play here. One of the things that is in play is no more bringing the chains out. We've been talking about this for years, that why can't there be a chip in the ball and a first down line? And basically what it's going to look like is very much like Wimbledon. You know what I mean? It's going to be like the tennis tournaments. Yeah. You know how they show the in or out on the line?
Yeah, where it shows where it hit, yeah.
They're using the same technology. There's a chip in a ball. There is a first down line that is official. Not, you know how they always say the first down line is not official? Well, the first down line at a USFL broadcast is official. And they'll have the ball has a chip in it, and you'll know whether or not immediately whether the ball was placed right or will be placed the most accurate as it could be. One of the other innovations, there's a ton of innovations. Some are going to be a pain. They're going to have 2 players on each side are going to have helmet cams. That's just dizzying. Hopefully they don't use it too much. They'll use it. They'll realize that it's dizzying. All right. It's crazy. It's kind of like pylon cam. Pylon cam's okay, but usually it's just, hopefully they'll just use it like if there's a big play or something like that and they get a good look at something. But here's something they're using that I think is genius. There is no sky cam. You know, on the wires, the overhead sky cam.
Yeah.
They're using drone. They're using drones, and it is so cool. The drone is like at ground level on the kickoff behind the kicker. As the kicker approaches the ball, the drone is right there. And then the drone goes way up in the air and looks at the play from the drone can go anywhere, right? Sideline and everything else. So they're using drone technology in the broadcast. And, Grizz, I think this is going to add a ton to the way it looks.
I did see a little bit of it. It looks really cool as long as they can stay. I mean, if they can stay within steady. Yeah. I saw it a couple times kind of shake and kind of move a little bit. And like you're saying, with the helmet cam being kind of a little janky and kind of, like that, that's what, that's going to do too. But I do like it because I've always liked the overhead camera when they have the camera when they go overhead, and it kind of if anyone plays Madden, I kind of like the Madden look where they show the entire field and they show everybody behind the offense, what's going forward. So I would like to see a little bit more different angles to kind of spice up the game a little bit.
Kurt Menefee and Joel Klatt will be the number one broadcast team for these games, and so they're bringing out the heavy hitters. Even if the game is on NBC, they'll have the heavy hitters out there when they do the game. So I think that's going to be a big thing as well. I think it's going to be very interesting. Of course, it always comes down to the play. What does the play look like? Kevin Kugler will also, Fox Sports Kevin Kugler, who will also be on the games as well. NBC Sports will have Jack Collinsworth as its lead play-by-play voice for the games that are just on NBC. Of course, Jack Collinsworth has been on the NBC broadcast of Sunday Night Football. He is Chris Collinsworth's son. He went to Notre Dame, and I've never heard him do play-by-play. I kind of expected that he would be a color commentator guy, but for NBC, Jack Collinsworth will be their lead play-by-play guy. So we'll see, what all of that looks like. I mean, first impressions are so important, especially Saturday night. It's going to be very, very big deal with the game on Fox and on NBC. And, my plan is, Grizz, I'll be down there for the remote, for the tailgate party. My plan is to get out of there early enough to get back. We have Easter here on Sunday. We're hosting Easter on Sunday.
Yeah.
So the Junkyard Babe's not going to be real thrilled with the fact that I'm going to be gone all day on Saturday. For me, it's 6 hours of driving.
Well, she's preparing.
Yeah, while she's doing, I need to get the grass cut for the Easter egg hunt.
Speaking of grass
so the
cut.
Kids can find the Easter eggs and stuff. I got work to do on Friday afternoon because I'm going to be leaving in the morning on Saturday and won't be home until probably 6 o'clock Saturday night. So I'll probably have to get out of there by 3 at the latest so that I can finish helping with the preparations and so on for Easter. But luckily I got you there. Working for the USFL newsroom.
That'll be a lot of fun. It's
going to be good.
Be able to actually meet the guys too in person, so or at least be able to talk to the guys and find out what all this is about. It'll be a lot of fun to kick off the season.
Yeah, no, I think it's going to be good. By the way, a NASCAR note: Saturday night was the Cup race. Boring. Friday night, let me tell you something. The Xfinity races, those guys are going at it, man. And I don't know if you heard about this, but Ty Gibbs, who is the grandson of Joe Gibbs, he's been bumping and banging on other people and everything else. Well, he got moved on Friday night. They were racing. There was 3 cars racing for the lead. Guy run up on him, bumped him out of the way, and got past him. Well, then he nailed the guy on the warm down lap. He nailed the guy from behind. Then they get to the inspection line, and both guys get out of their cars, and they're approaching each other. And the one guy, they're both so young. I mean, I think they're like 19 and 20, something like that. They're just so young.
Yeah.
But the Brandon Jones was the guy that was actually winning the race. But Sam Mayer, he was the guy that bumped Ty Gibbs out of the way. So Sam Mayer gets out of his car, Ty Gibbs gets out of his car, and they're like pushing and shoving. And then Sam Mayer takes his helmet off. Ty Gibbs doesn't take his helmet off. And then they start swinging, and Ty Gibbs got like 4 or 5 shots in. I mean, he cut open the eye of Sam Mayer. He said that there were weak-ass punches and that he didn't even feel them. His eye, look at his eye. I mean, you got to see the picture of it. Go to the ESPN story about it and look at Sam Mayer's face. I mean, his face looks like, first of all, he's never shaved in his life. I mean, the kid has got to be 19, 20 years old. He has never dropped a razor on that face in his life. But they were racing. There was a $100,000 dash for cash bonus on the line. Gibbs never took his helmet off. To me, he's in the wrong there. He's in the wrong, first of all, because what Sam Mayer did, what the bump and run, that's short track racing. That's what we want. We want these guys beating and banging. It was Martinsville, for God's sakes. That's what Martinsville's all about. You get up on the guy, you beat on him, you move him, and you pass him. So Ty Gibbs had nothing to say about that. Ty Gibbs won like 3 or 4 races already this year, and he's supposedly the next big thing. Joe Gibbs' grandson. But for him to start punching Sam Mayer in the face, probably he landed 4 or 5 punches. You got to go look at the video of this fight. For him to land 4 or 5 punches to the face while wearing his helmet is just crap. So like when Jason Varitek went after Alex Rodriguez and didn't take his mask off. And he was like punching on A-Rod, and A-Rod tried to get a punch in, and the guy's got his mask on.
Yeah.
Look, that guy takes his helmet off. You take your helmet off. Ty Gibbs, before you throw a punch, you take your helmet off. I don't care that the guy shoved you. Take that helmet off. That was kind of, I don't want to, trying to figure out a couth way to say it, but it was not, you don't do that. That was not the way to do it.
Yeah, obviously you don't want to see it, but if you're gonna talk trash to the guy, and if you're gonna throw a couple punches at the guy, at least
take your helmet off.
At least throw it off and start scrapping. Because I give credit for the guy trying to punch the guy with a helmet on.
I know.
That's the worst.
You break your hand.
That's the worst. That's what I never understand. Football fights.
Yeah.
Like they just sit there and try to just punch a helmet, and you're like, you're a moron.
Well, now with hockey, with the mandatory shield,
yeah,
it's like, to me, if you drop your gloves, you should drop your helmet.
Yeah, take the helmet off too. Yeah,
you should be drop your gloves, drop your helmet. I've been in several hockey fights back in the day when it was legal to fight, in a college hockey game, and we didn't have the cage then. The cage became optional when I was playing.
And I noticed a
now
couple
they
of
all
guys
wear the cage.
Yeah, I've noticed a couple of guys wear that in the SPHL too.
Yeah, they wear it. Well, usually if you're injured, you might wear it.
Yeah, they might.
But
wear
the thing is that even with just the shield, you know how precise you got to be with a punch anymore. You break your hand on the helmet. It's like, get that. I think you should drop your gloves and drop your helmets. But it's a penalty if you take your helmet off. It's a penalty. I think you should have to drop your gloves and drop your helmet if you're going to go. But this, especially in racing, the other guy took his helmet off. That was the wrong thing to do. Let me get Dot in here. Haven't heard from Dot in a while. Dot, welcome to the show. How are you?
Hey, they should have used uppercut and rocked his head. That's what he should have done. But
I don't know what you do to a guy that's got a helmet on. You know?
That was trash. I heard about that. I didn't see it. But I wanted to comment on the guy that had the rant earlier. Was it Philip?
Yeah, Philip went off about women doing play-by-play and so on. And by the way, unsigned text. Yes, ESPN is unwatchable. Most network radio sports talk shows are a wasteland. Check the ratings. No one listens. What they focus on is the problem. The best part of those shows is top and bottom of the hour updates, a little bit of information there. Is he talking about the network stuff? Maybe if he's talking about the network stuff, that's fine.
He mentioned Apple. Was he listening to some kind of Apple
yeah, podcast? Apple is doing, is it a game a week, Grizz? Or are they doing more than one game a week now? Apple TV has some streaming games, and they have on Apple TV, when they do the streaming games, there's 2 females and 1 male broadcaster. And the way they do it, they don't really describe the game. They're just kind of like talking during the game.
2 games on Friday nights.
Every Friday night, though.
Yeah, 2 games. Yeah, every Friday
2 games every Friday night.
Yeah, well, he doesn't have to watch. He's a glutton for punishment. I'm thinking he must have had a bunch of older sisters to beat up on him.
Well, it's
he's part of the He-Man Woman Haters Club. That was a.
It's his team, though. You know what I mean? It's like his team. I'm very annoyed if I can't watch a Yankee game. It bothers the hell out of me. Couldn't watch the Braves on Saturday night for some reason. It annoys me if you can't watch his team. But it was his team, so that's where he found the Mets game, and it bothered him.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, there's some places women don't need to be, like Erin Andrews going in the men's locker room. I didn't like that when that stuff happened. I don't particularly care to listen to women doing commentary unless they know what they're talking about. They start getting into other things, or if you're not staying on the subject, I can't listen. But I think he had a bunch of older sisters beat up on him or something. We had clubs, like when I was growing up in California, the boys, girls, they're against each other. I would egg and flower bomb his clubhouse. I would.
I'll be honest with you. I still can't get used to who is it? Pam Ward, what's her name? That does the games, does the Big Ten games on ESPN. Sometimes when she's the play-by-play, I still have a hard time listening to a woman do the play-by-play. It sounds so awful, you know. And I've got 5 daughters and 6 granddaughters, but it's hard for me to listen to a woman do play-by-play on a football game.
I don't really like the squeaky tone. I don't like Wendy Venturini with the NASCAR. That I think PRN people, the MRN people are better. But wasn't she the one doing the interview with where the Let's Go Brandon came out, right?
Yeah. But the other thing about it, and thanks for the call, Dot. That's a good job by you. The other thing about it is Grizz, and it sounds so terrible to talk about this because you can't say anything, you get canceled, you know. But the reality is there has to be a certain amount of voice talent involved as well. If you don't think, and it sounds sexist to say, right, a lot of the appeal of women sportscasters on the sidelines predominantly and then in the studio is the eye candy aspect of it. I mean, when was the last time you saw an ugly woman hosting one of these NBA, NHL, or NFL shows, MLB shows on TV? When was the last time you saw an ugly woman? But look at the guys. I mean, there's a lot of bad-looking dudes doing it, right? I mean, seriously.
I get it.
I mean, if you watch the MLB Network like I do, I mean, Billy Ripken, it looks like a pumpkin.
And they still throw Woody Page up there. You know what I mean?
Woody Page?
He's still on TV.
I mean,
Bill Plaschke's still on TV.
There's some bad-looking dudes, but you never see an ugly woman, do you? And here's the other thing. Where are all the women on Sports Talk Radio? There was the fabulous sports babe who knew nothing, and that was a trend. Then everybody saw her, and it was like, oh, God, she looked like a defensive lineman. But think about it. Why aren't there more women doing radio, sports talk radio?
If you listen to Greeny, there's usually Courtney Cronin or somebody is usually doing his show.
But where are the hosts? I mean, in Nashville, they've got Dawn Davenport does a show. But for the most part, around the country, you don't hear a lot of women on the radio. You know what I mean? On the radio. So why, the old face for radio thing? So why is there...
Oh, I got it.
Every single show, every single studio show on all of the 24/7 sports networks have women on the panel. Every single one. There's not one that's all dudes. Every one. But radio, they're a rarity. They're a rarity. Text message. I agree with a lot of what Larry said. Angry old white guys. He's over the top, though. It's more woke culture. ESPN does overdo the female sex appeal. Bama Bill. Who's Larry? Oh, it was Philip.
Oh, I get it. That was a Paul Feinbaum reference. No, I'm just kidding. Maybe. Larry from Paul Feinbaum.
Oh. Maybe that is a Paul Feinbaum. Arizona Jay is next. Arizona Jay, what do you got?
Man, Jesus, Tom, this is the second time called in. Like, you're supposed to be the president of the male chauvinist of ESPN.
He-Man Womanators Club.
President of all. Do something about these women on TV. They're wearing short skirts and neon lights, and they got stripper poles coming from the rafters. You're supposed to do something about this. It's like, personally, I really don't care. It's like, dude, I trust the fact that if they do put a woman on, like, I trust the fact that they put somebody qualified on there. I think the most unqualified person I've ever heard call a football game, and they let him sit up there for a long time, was Dennis freaking Miller when they had him doing Monday Night Football.
Yeah, like, that was more of one of those entertainment shticks. You know what I mean? It was like they put him on there to just be, they went through that phase at Monday Night Football when they were just trying to put a non-sports person in the booth with two sports guys. It didn't work.
Yeah, I mean, but personally, like, I'm not looking at ESPN or getting my sports. I don't care what the woman got on. I mean, look, I grew up. I'm from Tucson, Arizona. We got Telemundo. Then we got Univision. Now, you barely turning on to look at the Weather Channel. It's like, whoa. You know what I mean? Like,
Telemundo is like, it's like Telemundo is like soft porn. Yeah, you watch them. I know what you're doing, Jay. You're watching those. Mexican soap operas. You're watching the Mexican soap operas. They're like soft porn.
No, Sábado Gigante is the one. It's like the Benny Hill show on steroids.
Oh,
but I mean, even though if I can't understand what they're saying, I'm not looking at it anyway. So it's like, yeah, wow, I don't even know what's going on right now. But I mean, people complain about that. They're like, dude, you go to other countries, man, the women are 10 times hotter, 10 times scampier or whatever they're wearing. It's like, dude, you can't control yourself. We're looking at this. I hate to see you in Mexico. I hate to see you in Brazil. You know what I mean? I hate to see you somewhere else. So it's like, what are you looking at it for? Do you want to, are you listening to the information that's coming to you? Or are you too busy, using your eyes and not your ears? Because I listen to sports because I'm listening. I like to get my information. I like to be informed. So some old fart calling in, worried about short skirts and stuff like that. It's like, dude, I'd hate to take it to the Pink Pony or Uncle Buck's down the street over there. It's like, God, what's going to happen if I take you in there?
Right.
So you're talking to a person that wants.
His bigger problem was the play-by-play. Thanks for the call, Jay. I appreciate it. Good job, AU. His bigger issue was the play-by-play aspect of it. He was watching a play-by-play game, and they weren't even describing the game. They were just talking. All right, let's get a break. Brandon, we'll try and get you in on the other side. We're going to break right here and come back and wrap it up next on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
You're listening to the Thom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Are you in the market for a recreational vehicle? Do you want to get out and see more of this beautiful country? Well, imagine hearing the laughter of your little ones enjoying gooey s'mores by a cozy campfire and making lasting memories with your friends and family from the comfort of a new camper. We can make your dreams come true at Hall's RV. With over 15 years in the camping business, we know how to get our customers into the perfect camper. We have several models and floor plans here for you to choose from, both new and used. We're family owned and operated with fantastic deals and great service. Everyone wants to work with people they can trust, so come on down to Hall's RV and get the deal of a lifetime. We'll treat you right and get you on the road in the camper of your dreams. Visit us on Highway 431 in Albertville. Hall's RVs, where we sell fun. Or see us on the web at www.hallsrvsales.com.
Ann Adams with Berkshire Hathaway Rise Real Estate is the one name to know if you're buying or selling real estate. With years of local experience, Ann Adams offers buyers in-depth knowledge of the local housing market and will narrow available properties down to those you'll be interested in so you can save time when shopping for your new home. If you're ready to sell, Ann offers a seamless process using accurate pricing and expert negotiation skills to make sure you get a fair price for your home. Call Ann Adams today at 256-337-2625 or log on bhhsriserealestate.com.
This is Wes Neighbors talking to Chris Haygood of Bob Wallace Appliance. Chris, what sets you apart from other appliance dealerships?
Wes, these appliances are going into the most used room in your house, your kitchen. The way we have these appliances displayed, it's easy for you to visualize how they'll look in your home. Wes, what sets us apart is the people. They're well trained. In fact, they live and breathe these appliances. And if you need service, you'll really appreciate our parts department.
Contact Bob Wallace Appliance at 256-533-2121.
Hey, Bobby White from Woody Anderson Ford back again to talk to you about how easy it is to make a custom factory order. Just click WoodyAndersonFord.com, hit the top banner, then start making your selections. It's really simple, and you'll end up with the exact vehicle you want. Not only is there no extra charge to custom order, but at Woody Anderson Ford, we'll take 5% off MSRP on top of any additional factory rebates on the 2022 F-150, Bronco Sport, Explorer, Expedition, and Ranger. Another option for you is a certified pre-owned. We have over 100 Ford Blue Advantage certified pre-owned models to choose from. Our Ford Gold certified are low mileage, gently used with great warranties. They've passed a 175-point inspection by certified technicians and come with a 24-hour roadside assistance, plus a full tank of gas and a fresh oil change. Also, don't forget our service department is offering a free pickup and delivery when it's time for your next Ford service. Woody Anderson Ford, Jordan at Sparkman, hope to see you soon.
Who wants coffee? Anybody wants coffee?
Can you get me off the hook? Type C.
style. Thom Abraham, weekdays from 10 till noon on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
All lines are open. Feel free to jump in. 256-576-4977. Final segment of the show is brought to you by TOC Sports. For all your injury needs, it's TOC Sports. They will get you right and get you back to your job or on the field quicker than anyone possibly can. TOC Sports, with their qualified doctors and surgeons and therapists, are just outstanding. TOC for well over 20 years now in the Tennessee Valley. All right, let me get Brandon in here to wrap it up. I got so much stuff that I didn't get to today, but thankfully we got all week to get to it. Brandon, what do you got?
Hey, well, I'm just going to tell you, if you want to run an hour roughshod over that next show that comes on, nobody's going to be upset.
I got other work to do. Keep that in mind.
Well, I wasn't going to call you today, but when you started all that stuff started about the people, women, I'm going to tell you, I have listened to games that Beth Moen called.
Yeah.
And it would make me want to stab myself to death with a plastic fork from Wendy's.
Which would be really unfortunate, to be honest with you. I mean, I wouldn't like.
Pretty messy.
It is pretty nasty. It'd be a bad way to go. That's for sure.
And it's because of her voice. It has nothing to do with the way she looks, and I think that she actually does a decent job of calling. There's certain people's voices I can't take.
Yeah.
And for instance, I'm not a Kevin Harlan guy.
Oh, I love Kevin Harlan.
Voice.
Yeah,
But
I love Kevin Harlan. But Beth Moen, she's not a lot of voice talent there.
But if Paige Sporanic wants to do a show about pulling weeds, if she wears a green jacket, I'm in.
Yeah, oh yeah. Watch that. As long as it's not on radio. Only on TV.
Well, if they'll just put that picture up, on the little ticker like y'all got, I'll be good there.
There you go. All right. Appreciate you, Brandon. Paige Sporanic. That's the first time we've got a Paige Sporanic mention on this show. Everybody's Googling right now. Paige Sporanic. Who is that? Yeah. All right, coming up next, more right here with Chuck Oliver on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Hey folks, this is Arthur Seaton, managing partner at University Kia, here letting you know we are proud supporters of Alabama A&M University football. Stop into University Kia today and shop our large selection of new Kias, including the all-new